How is everyone doing today? So we're doing something a little bit different today. Let me move these out of the way. And I have a whole bunch of videos, and I apologize that I haven't been getting them submitted. So we're going to do a refrigerated pickled asparagus. We did it with cucumbers, and I had to go to the store today, and so we're going to do this with asparagus instead. So instead of doing the hot bath and sealing the jars so that you can stick it in your shelf and not worry about it for months at a time, we're doing cold refrigeration pickling. So the main difference is we're not going to be doing a hot bath and sealing the lid and sucking all the air out and all that fun sort of stuff. We will do this, then we put it in the refrigerator. They last for about a month. And so that's mainly the big difference, is that we're going to be pickling it in the refrigerator as opposed to doing a hot bath with it. So I've got my asparagus here. I washed it off. These are the size jars that we're using. So basically what I do is take one of the pieces of asparagus, set it here so that you get an idea of about how long you need the asparagus. Depending on some recipes say to cut it in 3-inch chunks. We prefer just one whole piece of asparagus. So we're gonna cut about right here, make a little mark, and then all the rest of the asparagus, we now know what mark we need to make it at. So then we'll just take all the rest of our asparagus here and we'll line it up roughly. Nothing is specific measurements. And we are going to trim these all down so that they're about the same length. And then we will put them in our, we're going to salt them first, and we'll just put them in a bowl of salted water and let it sit there for about 2 hours. Now that definitely not going to let you hang out and watch, so you'll see this in kind of stages. Today's my daughter's promotion day from 5th grade to middle school, and she loves pickled asparagus, so I told her that we would do that today and make some pickled asparagus. So there's a variety of ways that you can do this. Some people blanch them beforehand. Okay, slow down. Again, moms. Not only is mom on a lecture, she's the one giving the lecture. Goofball. Sometimes we've discovered it's difficult to be a professor teaching from home with kids. Not that it's a bad thing, but they're kids. So they're noisy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we've got those. So see, basically now what we've got is all these will fit. They won't all fit in here. I've got a second jar. But this was just one bunch of asparagus. So then we're going to take in this case, just a wooden plastic bowl. We're going to set our asparagus in here. We're going to put cold water, cover the asparagus, then we're going to dump about 1/3 of a cup of salt in there. Then we'll let it sit for 2 hours. I've never researched it. I think that the salt bath helps break down some of the fibrous structure of the asparagus and also helps give it a nice flavor. So I don't know if there's any validity to that or not. I just know what we do. And sometimes in life you just don't ask questions. So for those of you who are investigators, go ahead and search out if you want why you would salt bath asparagus beforehand. So 1/3 of a cup of salt, give or take. There's a mosquito flying around me. It's about to drive me crazy. Sorry, dude. I know you're part of somebody's food chain, but not today. Okay. Poor mosquito. Hopefully he's not a Game of Thrones fan. Because when death approached him and he said not today, he didn't realize that today was the day. Okay. I'm not even going to fast record this because I'm not going to have you just sit here and watch asparagus sit in a bath of salt. But this is all you're doing is just putting it in here. Cover the asparagus and then 1/3 cup of salt and let that sit for 2 hours. And then we'll see you back later and we'll go over the rest of it. Hey everybody, how are you doing? Let me straighten out some stuff here. Things got a little wonky. Okay, so we're gonna finish up getting our refrigerated pickled asparagus. So what we've got going on here is 1 1/4 cups distilled white vinegar put in, 3 tablespoons of salt in here, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Just gonna put that over low, stir it every once in a while, and let the salt and sugar dissolve into the vinegar. So while that's doing that, what we're gonna do over here, we already did the asparagus. Remember we soaked it in vinegar or salt water. So our 2 glasses that we're using here, because I'm recycling, this one I took the time to clean off all of the labeling so that it looks nice. This one, not so much because I didn't want to take the time to wipe off all of the material. So while that's doing that, what we're going to do here is drop into the bottom a tablespoon of coriander, seeds, not powder, into, give or take, into each glass container. The beautiful thing with this is you can reuse this pickling juice all the time. Okay, and then 1 teaspoon of mustard seed, give or take. There, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you like your pickles spicy, use a little bit more. If you don't like your pickles spicy, then use a little bit less or don't use it at all. And then, which I didn't prep these earlier, then we're gonna drop in 3 garlic cloves for each glass container. And go ahead and, I love when garlic doesn't want to cooperate. Break the shells off. Now what we're going to do here is in the interim, make sure you give this a stir every once in a while. So again, here we're just absorbing all of the salt and sugar into the vinegar mixture and just dissolving it. So a real simple process there. Okay, so now what we're going to do with the garlic is, I always cut off the butt end. I don't know why, but I guess old habits die hard. Okay, so we're just gonna cut those in half and put in 3 cloves of garlic per jar. Hopefully everybody's day is going good. It has been non-stop raining here for basically 2 weeks, so anything outdoor that I was trying to work on, or that I wanted to get done, has not been accomplished. But can't really fight with nature. Okay, so 3 cloves in here also. Cut them in half. Okay, so while this is dissolving, which it should be pretty close, you don't need to boil it, anything crazy like that. I mean, if you want to, it'll do it a little quicker, but there's really no need to. Basic chemistry, alchemy, fun stuff like that. It will dissolve. And then let's throw in our, let me grab my asparagus. It's been sitting in the refrigerator. So now what we're going to do is take our asparagus that we had soaked in some salt water, and you're going to drop these in here. Just kind of pack them in there. I just do it evenly until you pretty much have reached where you can't put any more in. But yeah, go ahead and just pack those bad boys in there. Now everything that's in the bottom that you have down there so far, the coriander, mustard, all that stuff, it will float up through to the top, so it doesn't just stay in the bottom, it will absorb all over the place. Okay, we should be able to get these last 4 pieces in here without much of a problem. Usually, if you like put the, probably did it in reverse order of what I should have. If you put the asparagus in first and then you slowly start putting smaller pieces in, basically it's just going to fill in around the asparagus, so that's something to remember so you don't have to battle them like I'm doing right now. Okay, and then we're going to take dill. Kind of, if you're going to make dill pickles, then you need dill. Obviously, if you're making sweet pickles, you would use something different. So about 8 sprigs per, so I just call that 3 right there. And then you're just going to push these in between. There's 4. 5, 6, 7. Slide these in here. Just kind of follow along the lines. If it doesn't, just go ahead and jam it in there because it doesn't really matter. And then we'll put 8 in the other one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so same thing, just kind of, so 8 sprigs of dill per. If you have them that you grow in your own yard, that would be awesome. I don't have any in the yard, so I just have to buy dill sprigs at the grocery store. Okay, so we got those in there. Those didn't go in very pretty nice. Okay, so now come back here. All of our sugar and salt is dissolved in our brine. So now what we're going to do is really simple. Let's see, we do need to put, I almost forgot, after your brine is done, put in 2 cups of cold water. That'll help break it down just a little bit. You don't want it to be super vinegar. So 2 cups of cold water. Okay. Now I'll probably have a little brine left over. I don't think these will take full. Okay, and then it's really simple. Just kind of stir that up. And then as simple as pour the brine in all the way to the top. So that everything's covered. So about as far as we can go without overflowing. Okay. If your containers are a little bigger and you don't have enough brine, you can take some cold water to just kind of top it off. Okay, then this is what we've got. Now we're just going to stick it in the refrigerator. They will take, you need to let them stay in the refrigerator at least 24 hours sitting in that brine. After 24 hours, they will be pickled, and you can start eating them after 24 hours. Since these have not had a hot bath, meaning we put them in here and sealed the lid on through that process, these really should be eaten within a month. So you don't want to leave these in your refrigerator for the next 6 months. So about a month is all that a month is about what you should take them. And then, if you see, so here's what our pickles look like. So these have been sitting in the refrigerator for a couple of days. You can see the garlic chunks in there. You can see all the, coriander, mustard seed, the dill, all that sort of stuff. So it's really that simple to make pickles. Once you make the recipe, you can modify, you can tinker with it, add a little extra spice if you want, a little less spice. Look online, there's bazillions of recipes for refrigerated pickles. But it's really a simple process, and if your family likes pickles, it's a fun little thing to do that really shouldn't take you more than as quick as we just did it, 10-15 minutes. All right, have a good day. Peace.